Hello, I'm Kevin Shuker, and today's show is on American Indian shamanism. Throughout the Americas, we have numerous tribes such as the Cheyenne, Seneca, Aztec, or Cherokee, to name but a few. Now, within each of these tribes is a very important person, the medicine man, the healer, or the shaman. Each of these tribes brings a particular interpretation of medicine and its place in natural events, and demonstrates us the connectedness of the oneness of life. It is based on the belief that as we walk through our journey of life, we need to walk in balance with Mother Nature. American Indians draw much of their knowledge from different sources, plants, planetary cycles, and sharing a commonality with all the animals of the earth. Now, to the shaman, healing is not limited just to the sick, for anything that brings personal power, strength, and understanding is considered medicine. And much of this medicine comes through animals. Each of these animals provides us with their own special message, for each living thing is seen as a teacher, contributing its information to the whole, which they term the Great Mystery. If a native Indian were to come across an animal or experience an animal, he would look at this animal and notice it and see what instincts, what there was to learn. If this animal came to them twice or perhaps even 3 times, then this was a strong indication that this animal was revealing its own particular medicine. And there should be a very open attempt to learn this information and incorporate it into one's own life. For example, let's take the eagle. Now, the eagle is a very powerful medicine, not only to the American Indians, but also to all Americans, because it is the symbol of the strength of the United States of America. The eagle represents spirit. It's an animal that was considered sacred because it had mastered the ethos. It could fly in the air. It also soared to the greatest heights and was considered the greatest of all the birds. It also has a reputation of being the only animal that can look directly into the sun. And eagle feathers have been treasured and honored throughout the American Indian history. They use these feathers to clear the air around the body, clear the aura so that healing can take place. The eagle teaches us to gather courage because the universe is offering us an opportunity to soar to greater heights. So all animals give us some information. Let's look at a few other animals, for instance. The hawk, another bird, but that's considered a messenger. It teaches us to be observant. The bear, on the other hand, it hibernates for large periods of years in a dream state. It's in the dream lodge, in the cave, and it teaches us to come from our dreams into reality. The butterfly is interesting, for it teaches transformation. It starts as an egg, goes to a caterpillar, a pupa, and eventually transforms into a beautiful butterfly. The turtle is Mother Earth and teaches us protection. The dog, of course, is loyal, friendship, and protector. However, the wolf, that is a forerunner of new ideas, and as it howls to the moon, it works with the moon energy. The buffalo was a very sacred animal to the American Indians, for it brings abundance and was honored as such. So wherever you are, if you're out in the wilds or you're around town and animals come into your life, look at them. See what lessons you could learn from these animals and how you may be able to incorporate their strengths and their talents and their instincts into your life. For they too have something to teach us. Today we have an interview with Verlo, who's an American Indian shaman and healer. And he's going to help us and describe to us how we can incorporate this into our lives so that we can gain the benefit of thousands of years of tradition and history and insightful information. So we hope you enjoy the interview with Verlo. I'm Kevin Shuker, and this is HealthVOX.
People always ask me, what am I going to do when I have a ceremony or something? I always just tell them, I don't know. sometimes I have a plan, but then something always happens to change that plan. A spirit might come in, or something changes, so tells me I have to do it a different way.
Every magical moment and every magical face and every magical being that you, and every magical experience that you could possibly have. So it's just about abundance and fullness and just full creativity.
In my beliefs, full moon is a time. Our people always prayed, did ceremony under a full moon, because that's when the powers were at their top or most powerful. That's when we did our ceremonies. And a lot of cultures I've been looking at is like the Wiccans use that full moon too, in the same way, good or bad. People can use it. And I think people should get back to these basic powers. Especially city people, they forget about all this stuff, nature stuff. And I think a lot of sicknesses in this earth would leave if people got back to believing back into these natures and powers and stuff. But as it is, it's getting worse and worse. Now there's AIDS, I still think there's a cure for that. There's a lot of asthmatic problems and stuff, oxygens. I think breathing exercise is important.
We're going to do that tonight.
Good.
Because we all dance together with the same purpose. My name is Parashakti, and I am dancing to own my full power and to let go of any fear around owning my full power. Aho.
My name is Verlo. And I see healing.
Tonight we have a medicine man who's going to be working with each one while they're dancing. This still is your own personal dance. We're going to still be wearing a blindfold, and we wear the blindfold in order to surrender to our own darkness, to our own shadow. And we allow that darkness to dance within us. And then we want to release it. So I'd like you to take a moment now and close your eyes and think and pray for what you are dancing for tonight.
Today we've got an extraordinary personality. We've been very blessed here. We're at the Grand Space in Brooklyn, and we have Verlo, who's an American Indian spiritual guide, and he's been here leading us today in a ceremony, and he's been we've been great to have a blessed with an interview with him. So Verlo, could you tell me a little bit about what is the tribe you represent?
The Shoshone-Bannock tribe in Fort Hall, Idaho.
So what is the history of this tribe, and how does it fit into the grand scheme of American Indian medicine?
We've been practicing ever since 20,000-30,000 years, but scientists always disapprove it because they need proof. But from our oral history and stuff, and we know we've been here a long time, and we've actually migrated from South America, not over the land bridge like the books say. So, there's a lot of history. It depends on, kind of be specific on what you're saying, because I can go on and on about something.
Absolutely. So what is the philosophy of American Indian medicine? I mean, how did it come about? What are the focal points of American Indian medicine?
Like any other grassroots people, like in Europe, Druid people practice grassroots medicine, and Wiccans did a long time ago. They were all prosecuted and killed for practicing that. So Native Americans grew up the same way, knowing the plants, the spiritual properties of the plants and trees. Everything has life, we believe. So when we collect an herb, we usually have a song, and there's prayers said over that plant that empowers the plant to give you more healing properties. But Western medicine nowadays, they have forgotten that. They don't pray or say any sacred words to the plant. So a lot of the healing properties are lost.
Absolutely, and also animals play a large part in American medicine. How does that fit into your philosophies?
I work with a lot of animal spirits because when I connect with them, they tell me how I can use a plant, or what action, or what to do to heal a person or help that person. That's how the animals come into play.
So for us folk who live here in the city, we live here in Manhattan, how can we incorporate these teachings into our daily lives?
My grandma had an animal that helped her, and it was an average everyday cat. It would materialize when she was healing somebody. That cat would come in and tell her what to do, and she was considered a great medicine woman back home. There's all kinds of things here in the city people can use if people are aware. I guess teaching needs to be done of that along those fields or something.
Yeah, because here in the city we have a certain disadvantage in that we are somewhat divorced from nature, and it's great to have someone who can come into the city, such as yourself, and bring this knowledge and be able to. Imagine, how often do you come to New York City?
I come to New York like once or twice a year, but I've always wanted to help other people, especially city people, get back in touch with the spirituality and how to work with nature, because city people have lost it. They don't get back to the nature. Like these herbs I use, I never go to a doctor. The people here, they should learn about these herbs again. They can heal themselves. I'd like to share that with people so they can do that, instead of going to a doctor and get a big high price. That's my vision, is helping people that way.
And do you run workshops, or do you see people one-on-one, or what do you offer?
A lot of places I go to, Maine, Texas, all over the country, and people ask for help in these areas, and I'm a person that never turns a person down, so I just say, okay, I will help, and teach them what they need to know, help them in that way.
If somebody was to come and consult with you, would they need any knowledge of American Indian medicine to see you, or they can just come in with no knowledge whatsoever and you can still consult with them?
I would show them the proper protocol of how people did the protocol like 100, 200 years ago. I explain it to them if they don't have no knowledge at all. I tell them that.
And I see you have some beautiful things on that you're wearing this evening, like this necklace. Would you like to share some information with our viewers? What is this necklace that you're wearing?
A bear claw necklace. The bear came to me a long time ago and told me on my vision quest, he said that he would always be willing to help me if I ever needed him. So I made this, so he would always be by me. And all of these other animals, I got a wolf skin over there. He tells me a lot of stuff, shows me a lot of stuff. I work with all kinds of spirits, so that's why I always have some part of them.
That's great. And we believe you've actually got some things here that you actually make, or that the tribe makes, that you're going to show us, and we look forward to seeing those. Are they all made, they're all handmade by people within your tribe?
No, I made all of those pieces. I used to work in a museum, so I know how things were authentically made, say 200-300 years ago. Plus I know how to do contemporary stuff, so I do that. If people want antique stuff, I can duplicate it.
Great. Well, we want to thank you very much for sharing that information, and we're just going to go now and have a look at some of the things that are truly authentic, handmade, and beautiful American Indian artifacts. Okay, so here again with Vilo, and he's going to show us some. Look at these beautiful, amazing American Indian artifacts here. So tell us a little bit about them.
Okay, this is made out of actual buffalo hide. It's an old style, imbricated they call it. This is the way they actually made their containers. You can put clothing or your food or whatever. It's not done yet. I've started this piece. A lot of museums would want this. This is a miniature-sized pipe bag, with the quill work and beads on there.
It's beautiful. The beadwork on that is truly beautiful.
Quill.
Beautiful. And how long does it take to make something like this?
This piece took like a couple weeks. The quill work takes a long time.
It's beautiful.
There's some more quill work on this one. This is making this for somebody. Medicine wheel. I gotta put some feathers on there. It's gonna be a purse. I'm gonna put beadwork up alongside them and strap, and put a long fringe on it down to here. It's gonna be quite beautiful.
And you make custom orders?
I make custom orders. Anybody who wants something made, they can come to me and pick out the colors they want. And, okay, the size of the bag or whatever they want made. I do clothing. I made everything I got on.
We need to talk about this one. This is my favorite. I've had my eye on this one. Just keep your eyes off this one. This is mine. So how about this?
See, I got one on myself. This is actually a bow guard, they call it. And you use it when you're hunting arrows. It'll slap up against the leather and protect your arm. Bow guard.
It's really beautiful. And that's handmade. You make these?
Yeah, the silver piece, yes.
I love it. That's really beautiful. And these smaller pouches?
These are contemporary, what do they call that, hide? Contemporary hide. So that's why these are cheap. These are $20, and these are the actual brain tan hide. And our people still do this type of work. Usually takes a week to do a whole hide, a whole deer skin.
So this is beaded on the side here.
Yeah.
It's the work on the side of the leather.
Hide itself.
Oh, the hide
People
to make
rub
it
the
soft.
brains on there.
Oh yeah.
The chemical in the brain makes it soft.
Oh yeah.
And you throw your beads on there and make bags.
Are these similar to a medicine bag? People would put things in
A lot
there?
of people like this stuff, so I make it for them. And, this is probably $30.
All right.
This is 20. That's fake hide.
So something like this, somebody might put their favorite totem in here or something that brought them good luck, and then they would perhaps wear this around their neck, or would they put it in their handbag, or
Do whatever they want with them, yeah.
It's really beautiful, very nice.
More quill work,
This with a porcupine quill.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Great.
All kinds of stuff. Peyote stitch style, one bead at a time. This is actually a lightning symbol. Make a keychain out of that.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
And this last thing here, we were looking at this earlier. This looks rather dangerous. What is
You
this?
hook it around like this. This is made actually of elk horn, shined up, make it look like ivory, and they use it for a quirt on a horse. This is the actual way they made them a long time ago, and it's becoming lost. But I like doing old style stuff.
Well, we want to thank Vilo very much for sharing some of this beautiful stuff with us and some of his insight. If somebody was to want to get in touch with you, how could they do that?
Contact you, I guess.
You could contact us through brighteyes.net, they certainly could. Or you can contact through the Grand Space, which is down here in Brooklyn. So we'd like to, again, thank you very much. It's been a great honor to meet you. And I'm Kevin Shuker, and this is HealthVOX.